You know when you want me to do that. Hey, everybody. My name is Aaron Schey, and welcome to the AACG Fired Up. This event is once a month, open to the public. There are other events during the month, every month. And if you want to sign up for those events, join AACG by joining aacgglass.org. It's an honor to have you join me today as I take you on a tour of Glass 52. This is the 52nd year, believe it or not,
Well, we
of
saw this already.
this
Well,
Did we
international
see this already?
I can't remember whether you saw all of the
show.
show. We saw the auction.
Mute everybody again. Let's try it again. All right. So continuing on, this is a live tour of the space. We took a video of the show after it was set up. We did a quick Zoom earlier via our own Habitat Zoom of what was going to be there, but this is the actual show. So I'm honored to have you join me, and I'm going to take over your screen real quick and show you what I'm talking about. So here we go. So this is our title screen. If we do our own Zooms, as I mentioned, every single Saturday at 1 o'clock. So if you love these interactive videos and learning about artists and institutions and everything about glass, come and join me on Saturdays. And it's a lot of fun to continue doing these as we've been doing for the last few years. We're missing you all. You all should be here. I don't know what's wrong with you. You should be here in Michigan, checking out this glass show, being with the friends of glass. And we usually get together once a year at SOFA. SOFA is no longer, so getting together at the Habitat events is really, in my opinion, where it's at. A lot of the artists come in. We have 40 artists in town. A lot of collectors are here, so it's a place to be. And we're looking forward to tonight's party at Kathy and Ferd's house, as we've done in the past. Now, since you're not here now, I want you to come visit if you can, anytime, month in May and June, to come see the show. It is incredible. You're seeing this picture. This is last year's show, so I wanted to give you a little idea of how the world changes. This room now has a giant piece of wood in the middle of it, separating the room so it has a different, more intimate appeal. Look at all these artists that are here. Tolen S just gave a talk this morning. John Miller will be demonstrating tomorrow in Flint. Alex Bernstein just gave a talk. Deanna Clayton had a glass class where everybody made their own piece. Richard Jolly just did a demo. Stephanie Trenchard just did a class. And Richard and Julian Robin Rogers have an experience here that we'll talk about. And they also spoke this morning, but I can keep going. I digress. There's all these artists in town, and it's amazing to have such great friends in the community, and it's from all over the world. And many are new. Like we haven't had Pearl Dick in the International in a long time. She's here, and same with Allie Hogue. So mixing up the show is always fun. I'm going to keep clicking because there's so many artists here, and today we're celebrating Steve Lynn's birthday. He's here with us from France. It's amazing to have him celebrate as his event, and his wife is in town. It's great. So here's a small glimpse. So this was John Miller's demonstration that we had the first kickoff event after the Axiom party, which was the artist gala in the morning. This is a glass blowing facility that's right across the street from the gallery. Can you believe it? They opened up a glass blowing facility just for us. I'm just kidding, just for themselves. But we go over there all the time, and we're able to take advantage of their space, do demonstrations, visit the artist. And Richard Jolly did an honor for us and really put on a show for everybody yesterday morning. And then Stephanie Trenchard did her glass class, and you can see the class is full of other artists. All the other artists signed up for her class along with Amy Morgan from the Bergstrom Mahler. But this is Jeffrey Boughton, Hannah Gibson, Deanna Clayton, and this is Jen Blazina. They all had a great time making Stephanie Trenchard painted rondelles, and we'll hopefully have more time to do this in the future. And it was so much fun to hang out and see everybody at our event, and people are enjoying lunch right now, and we're going to go also to the JCC today to see local glass artists. So it's a fulfilling, eventful, amazing weekend without stress and pressures of time, and I'm trying my best to keep that going over the years. So, and then some of the classics are here. Remember, this guy is John Lawson. He used to work at the Galley for decades, 25 years here, and he still comes and visits us, which is fantastic. And Debbie and Richard and Ferdinand, who has been here since day one. Jack Schmidt, Michael Taylor, and this is Sean, Jack Schmidt's wife, and who jumped in the photo back here. This is the Gross from Chicago. His son came, and the family's here. It's fantastic. So, and this morning we had the talks. So we had Alex Bernstein speak about his life, career, and work, along with Julian and Robin Rogers. I apologize for the dark picture. It's just impossible to take a picture in the dark. But learned about their careers, and Tolen S was the finale. And man, such a variety of talent, all working in different ways in glass, and all three presentations were incredible. Okay, so now meat and potatoes. We're going to go through the gallery space. This is a little bit slower than usual, just to give people a better glimpse at some of the works in the display. So You're welcome to unmute yourself and join me. This isn't a formal talk. This is just kind of a fun walkthrough, and hopefully the sound will be muted as this. So I apologize for the quality at first, but once the camera sets in, you can kind of get an experience. So Peter Bremer's piece, but you can see behind this, the wall is sealed off. There's no going right anymore in the gallery space to make it a more uh, controlled experience. We want you to go where we want you to go and see the space. So this is where the sidewalk ends. Julie and Robin Rogers experience, and you get to see they have this whole room dedicated to themselves, and they're three different bodies of work. They have more than three, but this is three bodies of work they put in this room. It is incredible to see in person. Their works are just so fun and imaginative, and they're brilliant people. They both work at the Chrysler Museum now. Robin manages the hot shop, and I'm not quite sure what Julia does there. But each work is just a fantastic sculpture, and they're just fun, really, really impressive pieces. And learning about that, they met in 2001, and they started collaborating in 2010 or 8, 11, and they've collaborated ever since. And they've always wanted to do a show of their work because it feels like it's another world, an imaginary world. And the work's about a lot about nature and connecting with nature. And I know this because I just was at the talk. Uh, there's so much in the digital world that distracts us from daily life. And a lot of these pieces are supposed to bring you back to nature and experiencing who, what, when, where, and why life is really about. And each character has their own personality and who they are and why. And every there's no wrong way of doing it and be having experiencing life, but everybody has their own experiences. It's like the postmodernistic view of life and society. And it was so fun to hear them talk about their career and their family, and their oldest kid is 20 and their daughter's like 11 now, and if they still maintain the time to create and make beautiful things. And you're going to see in a second the piece they've been working on for this show is these dogs playing pool, and it represents a photo that Julia had in her room in her childhood. Her parents put this photo of these dogs smoking and drinking in their room as children, but it was kind of like it represents the era. It was lowbrow, but it was kind of who they were trying to get to the world. And this is the masterpiece they put together for the show of these dogs. This is a museum quality piece by far, and every character has a name and who they are and why. And there's the drawing that with the painting that was on their room, Julia's room as a child, and it's great to see the piece come to fruition. So this space in itself is incredible. And these pieces in the center are kind of the whole show's called Where the Sidewalk Ends. If you're familiar with that book, it has a picture of a humanoid face with a head on top. Maybe it was in light in the center. And these are kind of like these habitual places where people live on top of ideas. And putting them together creates a dialogue between each one. And they really like to put them together. It's something they've done for a while, creating an amazing space in this one room with a gallery. So that alone is worth the trip. Julie and Robin are incredible forces, and they've done some promotion on social media too. If you want to see a little dialogue about each piece, I think it's on there right now. All right, we got one room done. Good job, everybody. We're sticking through it. So many of you know, with Heller closing down, we acquired the work of Josefa Gashmucha, who we showed maybe 10 years ago, and we're honored to show her work again. They are hard to see because they're clear glass and has been smashed and glued together. But if you ever experience these work in person, they have quite a presence. But do not touch. They are very, very sharp. But they are very impressive works by Josefa. So you see, we just walked up to a new wall. There's a chandelier up in there, and you forgot about that. So you see the wall right there is totally new. That's a Susan Taylor Glasgow piece that's lit up high above as you enter. New wall there separating this room. So as we walk around, our friend Richard Jolly, who's in town, has a great presentation of, I think, 4 or 5 pieces. Tommy was supposed to be here, but I think she was not feeling the greatest, and we didn't want her to come. She wasn't up to her, happy-go-lucky self, and we're missing her, but we're thinking of her as well. But Richard made these wonderful works and sent them to us for the show, and with his demonstration, we're hoping it leads to some more interest in his work, because Richard is a great member of our family. And many of you know Dimitra and Dino. Where we go? Let's follow. Giving the whole shot for you. Thank you. Demetra and Dean are in town. They came all the way from California for the show, and this is Demetra's solo work down here, which is all lamp work, beautiful and sculptures with mixed media and rock. But the real impressive pieces are these wall sculptures they came and installed. The leaves on the wall with a slight touch of red. But the next piece is just to die for. This wall installation of these red leaves, it just draws you in and you cannot look away because um, I've seen their work with softer pastels, but man, look at that. Isn't that amazing? The red tone, the shadow is just as important as the piece itself, and the shadows are all red from the light blazing through the glass. Incredible works, and we're honored to have them in the show as usual, and they're both here. Our friend Peter Bemmers was here till he's still here. And Janet has some wonderful works that we displayed some of these down on the Glass Coast weekend. I think we got a couple new ones for the show. But as many of you know Peter, he's the best. He's the most impressive artist, one of the most impressive artists working today in the cast glass form, and he's a great guy overall. And he's extremely busy making new work and doing commissions and super in demand. And we're honored to have a good body of work of his here at the show and represent his newest pieces, which is always important to us at the gallery to make sure we have the opportunity to show the best stuff first. Let's see. Oh yeah, Tolen S gave a talk this morning. It was incredible to learn about his pieces, and I have some pieces next to me too in my office, and the cubes are made with different colors in the centers of these pieces, and clear glass is added around them. And I've learned a lot because you can't tell that's a cube in the center because of how the glass bends and refracts around each sculpture. But they are just stunning sculptures by far. And I'm hoping we're uploading this video again in slightly higher quality because it takes YouTube a long time to do all the editing. So we'll have a new link in case you want to walk around or look at specific things in the higher quality video. But these are Tolen's masterpieces, and we sold 2 of his works already. This is his OLID form, which is the shape of the universe, and he actually has copyrighted this form. So nobody else can make work like that out of glass, at least that's similar in style. Alex Bernstein gave a talk. He's dabbling back into his color forms right now. And if you're following him on social media, you've seen him polishing these incredible pieces. And these are big. These are like 26 inches big in scale and size and wonderful in color and tone. So if you haven't experienced Alex's work in person, it's something you definitely got to see. And you definitely need to follow him on social media because he's really putting an effort into getting the work out there and getting people interested in glass alone. Just need about 400 more of him. He's absolutely wonderful, and he's here. So it's great to have Alex around. And he was talking about his parents set him up when he was a kid in flame working, and he was like 4, which is wild. Wonderful work by Lino Pietro, masterpiece, multiple panels. Always great to have Lino since he's retiring. Though I swear every time I'm on social media, he's working. And then I know they have a new movie coming out of his life and career they're going to be showing soon, which I'm looking forward to see. Speaking of that, we're going to be showing Paul Stanker's documentary at the Flint Institute of Arts tomorrow. And I'm so eager to see that in person because there's no screening, there's no like public screenings of it. You have to go to a private screening. And working with Flint, we're able to borrow their theater and create an event for both them and us. Now look at this monster. This is the large Berto Valine boat we have available in the gallery. It is, I think, maybe 90 inches across, maybe even longer. It's such a wonderful sculpture of Valine talking about the path of life. Usually all his boats are clear in the front, representing the unknown in the future. There's a Peter Bemmers we couldn't find a place for. Too much work in the gallery, so they threw it up by Regina's desk, and then Albert Paley have exclusive for some of his work now, and many of his pieces that incorporated glass. And it's always great to have Albert Paley's work in the show. Very important artist working in the medium. We're still putting the show together. You're seeing some empty hooks on the wall. That's where books are going to go that represent each artist. We're still pulling signs on the wall and getting the artwork on display, but mostly it's just the books we need to put up. Deanna Clayton's here. It's great to have her doing these wonderful works. These things, we sold out of these sculptures in Florida when we were there for the Glass Coast weekend. She was we're grateful enough to get some more in for this exhibition. And she puts little puck lights underneath them, so they have a little bit of illumination for display. I mentioned earlier a new artist for the year is Allie Hogue, making these wonderful and incredible butterflies. Light just bounces off of them. And she has two installations, and she talked a little bit during our previous Glass52 talk about these works and just the whole presence they have and the fun they are to make. And you might have a space like my parents had, my grandparents had a cottage, and they had these three giant windows, and they wanted butterflies all around the windows. And another artist named Rob Snyder created these cast butterflies that moved all the way around the space. So something you can play with that kind of work. Josh Davis and Aiken Atech, two Kalamazoo-based artists, making some of the best work of their career already. Many of you met them at our Glass Coast weekend years ago, and they are really pushing the medium and pushing their style. Wonderful sculptures. They got to be seen in person. A little more narrative than in the past. They had, more abstract things. Now they have like trees and individual buildings. And look at this monster. This is a wonderful work. Multiple rondelles that have been carved, creating a whole wall installation. I think this thing is 72 inches wide. And look at that mountain just flowing off the blue background of the abstract world in the reflection. This is museum quality. I'm very proud of them. Maybe some more Deanna Clayton's work. They are just wonderful works. I think these two are larger. Oh, excuse me, three. I would say if you had to pick one, what's your favorite color? Okay, thank you. All right, where are we going next? Oh, Martin Blank. Great friend of the gallery, Martin. He's been working on a lot of commissions, so we put one piece out of his for the exhibition. Multiple piece installation. Beautiful work by Martin Blank. And you've seen his work at the Fort Wayne Museum of Art and Tacoma Museum of Art. And we just love working with projects. We just finished two big commissions for him too. He's an incredible talent. Michael Janis is here also from Washington, D.C. We have his multi-face sculptures. And I believe the one on the right is a collaboration with another artist that helped design the piece. And they have a real incredible presence, and I really love the work. Along with these panel works he's really well known for. I enjoy my piece that I acquired from him a few years ago. And just having these pieces that are kind of interesting to see and you can't quite place, but they're beautiful. And it incorporates these video works. We had some of these in Sarasota down at the Glass Coast weekend, and they've been really popular as of late. Just overall visually stimulating artworks. And we're in room 3. We're doing a good job. Siegler's work, we have 3 of his masterpieces. This incredibly big and carved and polished sculptures by the master himself. And each piece is just incredibly unique and a legacy in itself. And I love this giant uranium egg. The style of the piece and the coloring is just to die for. And we're honored to have him in the show. And then there's Bill LeQueer. We haven't had Bill on the show for a few years. We actually, when I started at the gallery in 2005, was when we started showing Bill again. He's been on hiatus for a few years, but he sent us these 3 masterpieces for the show, which we're grateful to share. Each piece has been carved. He's got an amazing process that cuts the glass down and he laminates it all together, but they are fantastic. Here's the detail on that. Malcolm Budd is in the room. He's saying hello. Can't see him, but he's here. This is the ACG Habatat Zoom or the Zoom.
Oh, you're on the Zoom.
I am.
Oh, wow.
This is Vivian Wang. We have 3 of her sculptures on display. Incredible work by Vivian, and happy to have her in the show. Each work has a story of what they're wearing and why and what part of the world they're from, celebrating some ancient history. And every one of her works is kind of like a A little history lesson. Our gallery is not designed for photography and video, so you'll see a little hot spots as that the camera adjusts. But this is one of my favorites right here. The cute little legs tilted sideways. And just the detail and the gems. Every collection needs a piece of her work. I'm looking forward to visiting my piece that's at my mother's house and Ferd's house tonight. They've had my sculpture there for years. The only time I get to see it is going over there. And Heike Brachlau, wonderful works, master of color in the cast glass form. And these works slightly rock the balance and the gravity with them, create momentum and motion, but you usually don't do that. You usually let them sit there. But she's been in high demand as of late. We're grateful to have her in the show. This is the newest piece by John Milton and Kate Vogel. We posted a video of this, I think, online. But these gimbal pieces are just incredible works of glass art. And they have some amazing movement. They light from the bottom. You plug them in, they illuminate, which is pretty fantastic. And there's the season 2, Ryan Thompson of Blown Away. No spoilers, but this is his piece. It's very dark in this dark room, but he shows off his real Italian skills. He is going to be a force in the future, and we had a chance to see him demonstrate a little bit during the Glass Gala. This is our friend Brent Keyoung. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? What a vision to create something as immaculate as this installation. It's based off a photo of a tumbleweed stuck in a crevasse in a desert, and he's able to create that from the image. This is our same artist, Giant Ladder. Maybe you saw this last year during the show. 2 monumental pieces by Brent Keyoung, and I think we have another one upstairs in the gallery. Another artist we do really well with, Andre Jacob. I don't know how he makes these pieces. These cast works are just miracles. I know they're carved, I know they're cast, but I have no idea how they get the color in there and how they make it flow. And it's probably their family secret. Thomas Schoon, he's here for the weekend. It's always great seeing Thomas. We've been showing him the last 2 years. He's a legacy artist, he's been creating for decades. I know when I was a kid, I'd come to the gallery in the 90s, and my mom started there in the 80s, and you'd see his work then. This is a wonderful work. Collaboration between, let me jump back to it. Collaboration between Bothwell and Bender. And that thing is like 28 by 25. It's wonderful. Along with this little fairy. This can also hang on the wall. He did the woodwork and she did the glass, but it is a wonderful work. Like I said, you're always invited to come see these works in person. And our friend Stephen Powell, who we still love and think of all the time, 2 of his works on display for the show. And we've actually been painting some of the walls in the gallery lighter colors, just to add a little bit more to the space. All right, let me kick out of this one and go to the next slide. For some reason, did that. Let's get back in and we can kick over. All right, let's go and press play. All right, so now moving on to the next room. So this is a new artist. I can get the focus, Simone, and it will come to me. And they are amazing lampwork sculptures. I hope she gets closer to them, but you can see these beads on top of these Italian technique sculptures. They are just incredible. I'll have to show you some photos of that one separately so you can see it easily. Jeffrey Bowden, remember you see him on social media. This piece is actually acquired by the Fort Wayne Museum of Art for their permanent installation. It's great to see he won the Sachs Award last year, and he's an MGG Award winner as well. These fun works by Amber Cohen. Again, they're kind of hot in the photos. So they cool down a bit. You can see the details of her work. She can get in focus. But when I was here, we sold this pink one. There we go. You can kind of see the fun art, the fun world that Amber creates. With some include animals on display. Looks like some kind of swan in that one. Really a wonderful space. Oh, it was a quick video. All right, kick over to the next one. Let's see if I can kick over. Let's go and see what this one's like. Yep, further in that room, Shelley Allen. Many of you know her work, doing a lot of animal objects, and she did a video showing that bear being made on social media recently. Wonderful swan covered in bubbles. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's see. His name escapes me. Riley. Two wonderful work. We had him demonstrate in Florida. He connects these two glass components hot in Uncomo. It's so much fun to see him work. That'll come to me though. Laura Donifer's here, believe it or not, and she's got three works that are available. She just finished one piece before the show, which is this piece right here in the middle, which I find incredibly Laura. And this is my first time seeing it. I haven't seen it on the floor. And this one's available too. So we're grateful to have her here after going through her family issues, and we're grateful to him. Ben Cobb, when you saw him as a judge on Blown Away season 4, another extremely talented artist. We love his form and his style and his technique, and his work is priced really reasonably. So I would say jump on him if you like that kind of sculpture. Each person has such a legacy of creating. Jamie Harris, another newer artist to the gallery. Can you imagine what these look like in front of a natural window or a light space in behind? They're just absolutely beautiful. Second time showing Krista Israel. Very fun works. It makes me smile when I see her work. And we showed her down in Sarasota Glass Coast weekend and sold a piece or two. And she was supposed to be here for the weekend, but had some family problems. So we're representing her anyway and having fun. And Hannah Gibson is here in town as well. It was great to see her, have her fly in from the UK, creating her Lego forms, it's interesting. People usually collect her work and buy multiples. So it's very interesting to see how people buy her work. And this is a fun work by Katrina Weintraub. She had the solo last year, and these works are very in demand. And they're just fun experiences. You can set them up, and every time you look at them, they smile. But she is just so talented, and she has another body of work too. We'll see. These are rabbits that she's been more focused on as of late. I have a mouse in my collection, hide around my house that I really enjoy. Now we're going straight into the next room. Wow, look at how beautiful this room is. Balthazar Lucasi. This is Laszlo Lucasi's son. We had two pieces during the Glass Coast weekend and sold them both immediately. So we put him to work and had him bring new works. He's in his 20s and he is learned a lifetime from his father, Laszlo. And we're honored to have him in the show. And we got Michael Taylor, another longtime friend of the gallery. Look at these works. They're just exquisite. Each one just glistens. And for some reason, he gave us these latrine toppers. And maybe it was to add a slight touch of elegance, maybe to keep fingerprints off them. But they look really good. David Patchen, who's actually here, he was in the earlier shot, a master of color. He makes such beautiful, beautiful colored pieces in such easy, interesting, simple forms. And people are really drawn into his work, and we're grateful to have him show. Another one we haven't had in a while is Haruhi Shimamoto. She spent a lot of her career working for Tutsinski, learning from Tuts. This work hangs from the ceiling. And so there's people who have installation spaces and can handle her work, and was another one in the show. Carrie Side, these are actually metal and plexiglass, creating an luminous kind of tone and color. And our friend Eli Cecil from Florida brought us some bonsais. And I learned what's interesting about these is that the top of the tree he actually creates by putting glass into water, and as it cracks and falls apart, it creates that beautiful bonsai top. Oh yeah, Jen Blazino, these wonderful purses. If you like purses, Jen Blazina is one of your favorite artists. That piece is called Let's Go Party, that big pink purse. And I think we've sold a couple of these by now. Martin Rossol making some incredible pieces. I think he's making the best look of his career. These are just unbelievably beautiful works. They speak for themselves. He's just absolutely incredible. And I've seen his work over the years, and this is probably the best I've ever seen. Every sculpture is just so important and so refined. Honored to have him in the show. Let's see where she goes next. Stephanie Trenchard, who's here for the weekend, brought us some works. We've done really well with her in the past. She does sand cast glass and blown objects. And look how fun these are. Each piece tells a story. And they've been quite popular over the years. And if you ever want me to stop the camera or look at these some more, I can always press the space bar. But There's so much to see in every single piece. Right, where are we going next? Oh, next one. Okay, let's see if I can get the next slide to go. Stepping the wrong button right there. Pardon me, guys. Well, it's always difficult getting to the next slide when you're trying to get to the next slide with programs. Come on, program. Here we go. This window. Okay, there we go. Did this one already, and next one. Okay. Joseph Ivacek, his urban themed work, with a couple of two of his pieces. Rob Stern, another member of the Blown Away family. This is a brand new sculpture for him, these orbs put together. He's really known for these star-shaped forms, and they're just magical pieces, and we're honored to have him in the show as well. This is Paul Schweider, master of blown and carving. Every piece is blown and then carved down to shape and form, and man, I don't know how he does it. They're just incredible, incredible works. Kathy Mulcahy was here earlier in the week, earlier in the glass weekend, and she has, I think, a couple of pieces on display, just wonderful, peaceful pieces inspired by her trips and kayaking. And then we're getting to some more wonderful sculptures. This is Dan Alexander, who's a Floridian-based artist. One of the hardest working, and he's on social media all the time, creating these beautiful blown objects. Up and coming, and he's like, I don't know, he's 6'4" or something, but man, he can really blow some glass. And a longtime member of our family, David Hutchhausen. He's not here this year. He's usually here at every international, but I think he's working on owns a motel in some country, and he's been working on that. But man, look at these wonderful works that we have of his. Each one is just a masterpiece. And then Pearl Dick, who is a winner of the NGG show. We made sure to include her in this year's exhibition. She's a longtime friend of the gallery and family member. Wanted to make sure she was represented in this year's show, and she's here as well. Beautiful. Where are we going next? Oops, people walking around. This is season 2 winner, Blown Away. It'll come to me. Anybody want to help me out with the name? I do so many.
Elliot Walker.
Thank you, Elliot Walker. Just wrote an article about Elliot Walker in the ACG magazine. Is a big fan of the work, and these are just absolutely beautiful. Thank you for the help. I appreciate that. All right, let's go to the next video. Now, who can name this artist? Anybody in the room? I'll give you a hint. She was on the last season of Blown Away. Our friend, it is Kathleen or Karen Mulvick Johnson. Jack Schmidt, who's here, a longtime member of our family as well, came in with Sean, his wife, so it was great seeing them. They've been at a lot of the internationals over the years, still making wonderful works. And this is the Kathy Elliott. So the color's getting fixed as she moved around. It's more of like a silver than a yellow. And we're rolling into the new room, Herb Babcock, and a little bit of Morag Reiki, and Kimberly Thomas there. This is also Karen Mulvick Johnson, these wonderful Crystallis sculptures. And there it is, Mother Earth and Her Cats. A fun piece by Karen Mulvick Johnson. She just showed work similar for the show, Blown Away show. Thomas Berzone. Then we flip around. You guys are familiar with this if you watched the ACG video, one of David Patchen's collaborations. Is Debbie in the background cleaning? Oh, thank you, Debbie. Vladimir Klumpar, masterpiece by her. And then this is the Dory Settles shoes as storytellers. So every single shoe is made of pate verre, and every shoe has a story of who wore it and why. And they're all on her website, and they're absolutely beautiful. Each work is so well detailed, and watching the process, we did a Zoom with her explaining how she makes all these shoes, and they're all available for sale, and we've sold, I think, a couple of them already. Mattis Cookie is Trash Glass Series, another longtime member of our family. Teacher to so many and educator to more. We have a great presentation of his works as well. I had the fun time of unpacking all those and setting them all up myself, but happy to do it. All right, we'll continue on the next tour. Make sure I'm going the right way. So. All right, play right here. Let's see where we start. All right. Susan Taylor Glasgow, who's also here. A couple of her beautiful chandeliers. We saw one at the beginning of the talk. Each one is just immaculate, made from the original glass and from found object. This is her brand new bustier. It's a little more silver than appears in the picture, but it is a great piece. Jen Violet. Let's see if we get a closer picture of the one on top. But each work is just so fun and peaceful. Cast glass works. A little rabbit being chased by a carrot. And a little bit of Mother Earth being born, a plant with a little trowel. More of Susan's pieces. Did well with those in the past at different shows, Teapot series, along with her solo exhibition. Now we're in the big room. So today we're celebrating, I mentioned Steve Lynn's birthday. We gave him a really impressive display of 4 masterpieces that have to be experienced in person. The 2 you saw are, this is the new one right here, along with this one, which took Steve 8 months to make. And it really needs to be seen in person. It was a labor of love. Look at the beading on that. And there's even beading behind where you can't even see how much time and care he put into this piece. And he did a talk about it during our Zoom earlier in the month. And he puts these plaques up so people can read. I hope you like orange because we're visiting Michael Barron's, his orange and red pieces, whole collection. We gave him a great space of the orange works that he's done in different forms and scales. And it's just an incredible work. And he was here earlier today and earlier in the week. This is the other Hao Hashimoto I really, really love. It's like a red flower. And as you can see, the strings hang down. All those pieces hang off a shelf. So this is the fun stuff I was telling you about Katrina Weintraub. I own one of these bunnies in my collection, and I got it for my wife as a gift, and just love these works. Each one is uniquely made, and they hang on a shelf, and they just really keep you company. Wonderful pieces by Katrina. Davide Salvadori. Incredible works by Davide, making sure he's represented in the International. Many of you know him and his work, and he's a true friend of the gallery, and he's a master blower and presenter. And then we got Wilfred Grutens, who's also here. 3 or 4 of his works on display. As you walk around, they disappear. They're all hand painted and laminated together, and man, they just really are drawn in, create an amazing presence. Someone asked during Tolen S's talk if he would ever collaborate with Wilfred Grutens because they both have a similar visual appeal. And Tolen said, I would never disturb his work. It's perfect the way it is. But I love Wilfred's works. This is a newer form, like an exploding planet. It really is incredible. Where are we going next? Let's find out. Oh, yeah, another masterpiece by Vladimir Klumpar. Look at that thing. Just an incredible sculpture. Some of the books are up. I saw a Vladimir Klumpar book. Lucy Lyon, a longtime member of the family, is doing some incredible things. This is her 2 new works right there. She's kind of breezing by. They're bronze and glass. And just the flow up. Let me go back to it real quick. So you got to see them. Just the flow of the glass over top of each sculpture and watching how she was able to cast glass cloth over top of them as if they're relaxing. It's just incredible things. Yeah, another masterpiece by Lucy. Needs to go to like a women's center or something that people can really experience his work in person. She goes back. That's convenient. But those are her 2 newest of her newest series, and she's doing 5 of these in total. And we have the first 2. Latches are Boyajev, new works by the artist. Look at those colors. These are stunners. Master of the material, one of the best working today. Great to be able to share this work with you and show it in our gallery. We're truly honored because they spent a lifetime making these works and being where they are today. Another talented artist, Marlena Rose, sent us 3 works. This is a new work of these ginkgo leaves, and I guess I learned that all the ginkgo leaves fall off a tree at once and blow away instantly, more or less. And it's about the passage of time in that instant. And a fun octopus. I guess this was a commission that someone requested the style, and she's making more. But it's nice to see her work come together. Nor her work by Herb Babcock, the local artist, been shown since the first International. Might even be one of the first artists we ever showed here at Habatat. Still working today. It's amazing. Making these wonderful pieces that can go outdoors and have just an incredible presence and reflect upon something you're kind of familiar with, like a person, but obviously art. Zora Palova, some of the most talented artists working today. She pushes the medium. Look at the scale on this thing that you're going to see in a second. Colors are beautiful. Scale's incredible. She's just, we're honored to show her. And then this, I believe, is Stefan Paula. And I think this thing could lay on its side too. I just think it was safer to put like this during the show at the moment. And I think we're going to go over to John Miller in a second to see these bottle caps. So there's Corey hanging out on the phone. And these are all entirely glass with gold foil, and they represent his childhood, represent life, because I guess I stopped putting these on cans in 1979. And for him, it was a big throwback for his life. Someone Corey found in Art Miami. Her name is Beta. And these are just women empowerment pieces. It was Charles Shepard right there. He was doing the judging for the Glass Coast weekend. And then we got Philip Baldwin and Monica Dugasberg. Had a big installation for them down in Florida. And then, yeah, these works are incredible. And we wanted to make sure they were represented in this show. Look at the color on that thing. It's fantastic. Another is, or we got another Vladimir Klampar. We have some big pieces by her. And then this is Botosh. There's three wonderful cross sculptures by the artist. This is a smaller one, kind of hidden in the dark, so we'll have to light that one better. Claire Kelly is here for the weekend. Great to have her join us. Her works are always so fun. They make me smile too. I've had some sales of her works while she's here too. It's great. Kind of throwback to childhood circus, but in her own style and way, and they're very, very fun. It's great to see her. I haven't seen her since, I don't know, maybe 2020. So we're kind of in the back room area. I'm just gonna walk around here. Let's take a look. We have some spaces back in the back room. We gave a great space to Jenny Pullman and Sabrina Knowles. And then we have some overflow. There's Javier Gomez has two brand new pieces as well. Leah Wingfield, two wonderful sculptures of hers that we did a Zoom about recently. We're still moving stuff around. Extra work inspired by Lena Rose and a few others down here. Peter Hora down there and Alex Bernstein. Gomez again. It's always fun to see what they put in these nooks and crannies around. And Corey incorporates them in the show. Big piece by Peter Bremers. There's the guy. Yeah, Dimitra solo work again. Vivian Wang. Trying to get the camera to balance out. So when you walk around the gallery, I can just keep letting you talk with the pictures. You can really get an idea of how much work is actually on display. There's so many incredible pieces, and there's so much more. We try to make sure to put everything out on the floor as best we can. And then if you've been here, you may have been to the Habatat Vault, which is our back room, where we have more works that have been moved around, or you can see in the back room, which is kind of fun. Some people prefer that because they have the opportunity to find some amazing treasures. Some work up there by Robert Mickelson and then more work by Wilfred Grutens. But as time goes by, things sell, and we have to pull stuff out, put stuff on display, and move things around to make sure that there's always something beautiful for people to come and look at. Thor and Jennifer Bueno, I'm big fans of their work. Let's see what we got here. You can probably help me out with naming these people. Yamano. This is Jovicek's new sculpture, something you've never seen before. David Hutchhausen. And yeah, no, it's also fun in this scenario is trying to tag all this stuff. When you have to put tags and names and figure out who's what, you're trying to come up with the names off the top of your head. And long story short, sometimes it's easier than other times, but beautiful work by Eric Hilton. But I guess we're rounded enough, we can kind of get an idea of who does what. That's kind of fun stuff too. We're going to put that stuff out and display for the public opening. It's a spaghetti with dinosaurs on it. I'm zooming through here a little bit just to give you an idea of the back room and space. Christina Bothwell's work. Just wonderful sculptures by the artist. Now, this is Andrew Madvin's work. He's the one who lets us use his demo studio across the street. More work by Botosh. And then Winnie Testamacher, more work we got to put out in the gallery too. She's just incredible. Get some promotion for that. Someone named Simmons we showed for the first time in Florida. Very small, elegant, blown sculptures. And more Thor and Jennifer Bueno. You have there's lots of places to put their work. Anywhere aquatic, anywhere you want to feel peaceful. Beautiful, large, another orange work by Michael Behrens. We got the orange covered here at the gallery. New artist up on top, up right there in the middle of the smokestacks. Some Raven Sky River work. John Moran. And the smokestacks were done by Andy Kopel, who's an artist I met at the local show we're going to see tomorrow here in Michigan. Karen Morch, if you haven't seen her work, it's incredible. Those cast pieces are just to die for. See if I kick back to those for a second. I mean, they're just incredible works. She flies way too fast by the wind and pause it. Like the color and tone. Bird was commenting on how they're just masterpieces, and we have three. I think we have a pink, a blue, and a red. But as you walk around, the image completely changes, and someone we're excited about for the future. So stay tuned. And then now, yeah, this is a huge Thor Bueno back here as we go around. Dimitra and Dean. And then this are two Thor Buenos I installed personally, the new works. This one's silver and gold. This is the multicolor piece, which I find quite beautiful. And then Corey moved around some Martin Blank sculptures to make sure he was incorporated in the show. This is fun. I like doing this visual exploration of these pieces in the space. And local artist Kim Hardy, who's a part of our family, who runs the CCS Glass Studio. I want to make sure she was part of our show. Very organic and lifelike with the internals of almost feels like it's part of the body. And that's the kind of the feeling she wants to give you for these works, but they're really well done. We're honored to have her in the show. All right, if we go anywhere else, let's find out. Is there any more slides? Let's kick over. Did that one? Did we do Stephanie Trenchard yet? Let me see what this one is. Oh, she took us even upstairs. Wow, you guys are being spoiled here. She went all over the place. Thank you, Regina. Alex Bernstein, he has his incredible optical work, which he's been doing the last couple years. And these are some incredible pieces along with the triptych in clear. Peter Bremer's large installation sculptures. I think they're called vibration pieces. Lino Tech and Pietro, I guess, didn't fit downstairs. And beautiful. It's really purple. The picture looks kind of white. Made sure we had some work by Richard Royal out, another longtime member of our family. Look at that. We've got just happened to have four huge masterpieces, 5 ready to go in the gallery. So much fun to see what gets put out during these shows as well. Each one representing the different parts of your life that come together, family expanding. A Japanese artist, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but very impressive pieces. Let's see, where are we going next? Oh, yep, another piece on the wall. And then other Steve Lynn we've had up here. I want to show off. We have some of Steve's extra pieces around upstairs and David Hutchhausen's as well. Yeah, these are older pieces, but I love the orb form. And they sit on a small ring. Carry side. Sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't. There's Alex Bernstein. And Kelly Odell. Cool to see this stuff on display. This is another Tolen sand piece that spins a different style. The green dog and a whole little space for Dean Allison up here. Extremely talented artist and a good friend of the gallery. Now we're getting to some different works by Michael Behrens that aren't so orange, maybe one or two. Great to have Michael in town for this event, but man, he's making some wonderful pieces. And then this is one of my favorites. I love this blue and green sculpture. Absolutely wonderful. Noel Hart from Australia. These works represent different types of birds in the world, and they really take you into the feeling of life in birds in every single piece. Cassandra Blackmore, surprised this piece is still available. It's impossible to get her work, but we have one in the gallery, and I'm sure we'll find a home in no time. And more work by Christina Bothwell. Her and Robert were here last week dropping the work off. It's great to see them in person and talk about what they're working on, and what their studios are like. Some other masterpieces by Andrei Jacob. No idea how they make that. No clue. But man, they're beautiful. we try our best to make sure everything's clean and shiny, no fingerprints. It's amazing that we can do that. There's so much glass in the gallery that could easily show Alex Bernstein's wonderful, more clear pieces of his, different styles and techniques, but they're just wonderful pieces. And we're grateful to have him here for the weekend. See where else we're going to go. More Lucy Lyon. So we end up having some works from previous shows. We wanted to make sure they're on display for the International as well, give them a great presence. I give this show a 10 out of 10. Just some wonderful, incredible things. It's worth seeing in person. And the setup is elaborate. We were here from basically like, I don't know, 9 a.m. to 11 at night for about 6 days in a row, trying to make sure this gallery looked as great as it does and finishing everything. Mark Laputa and getting everything in place for this walk around. Mark's works are incredible. He's an amazing cold worker. If you haven't seen our Zoom, definitely check it out. In fact, check out all our Zooms. We have only like 300 of them online. Visiting artists from around the world. How fun is that? Name your favorite. Petra Herbakova, IRDS, more under Jacob. Then we have some works by John Miller. We had to borrow a burger for the auction because the burger that we were auctioning off was still at his studio, but it will make it back there in no time. These are kind of fun works by Michael Janis, representing Star Wars, and then we're kind of going in the back room, which is kind of fun to see some of the pieces we have back there. And mind you, all these pieces are for sale, ladies and gentlemen. If something catches your eye, you contact me because these works are just some of the top being made in the world, and I know you guys would enjoy them. Just kind of going around, giving us a quick little back tour of the small room back here. What's funny about these cabinets is this is from the old gallery when it was in Pontiac. This is the main display area, and now we've repurposed them for our back room. The Lino down there, look at that, it's great. And still using today to put some great works into. Dan Clayton, and there's some Wilton Vogel down there, Stani Borowski, will be in town soon. We'll have a chance to see the family. A little bit of everything and more. There's the other Mosh that's red, but it's kind of dark up there. Rick Allen and that piece right there by Bindu. Emily Brock. Where else is going to go on this tour? This is kind of fun. What a space. I'm telling you, it's worth the trip. Any more videos? Let's see what else we got. Okay, that wraps it up, everybody. Let me stop sharing my screen. Which button is it? There it is. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was kind of fun to walk around the gallery and see the space and talk about the International. And there's a tent outside that people have been enjoying themselves and eating. And tonight we're going to go see the show at the Janice Chera Gallery, looking at local glass artists, and the Ferd and Kathy world famous glass party. I'll try to take some videos and pictures tonight and paste them online so people can see and join us virtually. But there's nothing better than being here to see this stuff. And we do this show every year, usually around this time, May or April or May. And then obviously we plan for our trip down to Glass Coast Weekend in Sarasota. But we miss you all. And obviously you're welcome to come see us. And I'm hoping that this show is a labor of love to set up, and you'll take the time to do that because it's really an incredible feat. And it really shows off the grace and the importance of glass today. And that's what we want to share with the world. And that wraps it up, everybody. So go to glass52.com or go to habatat.com and check it out. We put all the works online too. And if you ever have any questions or pricing on prices or availability, I'm always around to help out. We love sharing what we do in the world. Thank you.